There's more to Franklin Park than the golf course and the zoo. The best way to experience that is to be there for the Kite and Bike Festival on Saturday. To tell us more about what's planned is the executive director of the Franklin Park Coalition, Corey Allen. Thank you very much for being with us, Corey.
Thank you very much for having me, Chris.
For people who've never been to one of these before, paint the picture, because this is not what you usually see at Franklin Park.
So as you enter into the playset area of Franklin Park, you'll see food vendors lined up along the grass. You'll see program vendors selling their wares. Along the picnic area, you'll see people laying out on blankets. You'll see folks riding their bikes up and down the roadway right there in between the park and the zoo. And then you'll see tons of kites flying in the air. Some people come to build their own kites at the park. Some people come to purchase, but some people bring very specialized and very intricate kites to the park.
Now, we know that Ben Franklin had a special interest in kites, but a lot of people who haven't tried this, they say, what would I do with a kite? I mean, but on the other hand, I guess a lot of people start that way when they show up.
Yeah, I mean, it's really something that, barring that we have great wind and also we have instructors out there to help, if you really appreciate the environment and appreciate being in the fresh air and seeing nature at work, because literally it's the wind carrying the kite and having a conversation with you, as well as the way that you move the kite string, way that you can talk back to nature and ask for some more wind to go left, more wind to go right, or if you want to let go a little more, in fact, just to say you take the kite where you want to go, and I'm just going to enjoy the view.
And the kids enjoy it.
Oh, the kids love it. I mean, sometimes the kids are 30, 40 years old. Sometimes they're 3, 4, 5 years old. But I really think it's an event that everyone can enjoy, and is really a multi-generational event for the entire city and surrounding areas.
What about you? Did you start off with this when you were a kid?
I actually did go to the Kite and Bike Festival. I think at that point it was the Kite Festival. But yes, I in fact did go to the Kite Festival when I was a young man.
Now, the idea here is, not just this one event, because there's a sense of the park that a lot of people get that's different. Talk about that.
Yes, so during the winter, we didn't have much of a snow this winter, but we usually do a winter festival where on Saturdays we have folks out in the park to do activities such as sledding and games, sometimes unannounced throwing of snowballs, and they might be thrown at trees or they might be thrown at people for target practice. But really, this is the spring and summer opening for the park. We do a ton of things in the park. We have the Playhouse in the park, which is the continuation of Elma Lewis's tradition that she had. We also have the salsa in the park, and we do line dancing in the park, along with other activities. So the Kite and Bike Festival is really the kickoff of our spring and summer season in the Franklin Park area.
Well, one of the things I was reminded of going to the festival was I parked far enough away where I made sure I had a nice walk through the wilderness area.
Yes. Yeah, the wilderness area is great, and out of that 527 acres, my personal favorite area, because you get to see rocks that have literally been there since the earth has been formed, and it's very humbling to be a part of that environment and to take it in, but then also to realize, being the executive director now, I was formerly on the board, that I'm actually a part of that curation, and it feels very, very good, and I really love to share it, and I love to hear that you enjoy it as well.
Now, what about, talk about stewardship here. I guess the city is going to be helping a bit with that, at least in the mayor's plans.
Yes, so the mayor just announced he and Chris Cook had a conversation, and they've allocated $5 million for park improvements, and it's particularly for Franklin Park. One of the things that they're looking at is the walking path to make sure that it's ADA accessible. So with the roots of some of the trees growing up, and then just with the wear and tear of the walking path, it's in need of some attention, and they've been doing it piece by piece. But the mayor and Chris Cook have promised over the next couple of years to in fact make sure that it's going to be complete, and we're very happy for that and very appreciative.
And we should remind our viewers here that the coalition depends on participation, and that participation makes it possible to take good care of this park.
Absolutely. So we do have grants, and we do have some large donors, but then we also start our memberships at $5 a piece. We had an event a couple of years ago when there was an event that they wanted to have in the park, and so we had a meeting for it. And some people said, well, we want to have more of a voice. I said, well, look, the people who have paid at least their sometimes up to 500 and more, to be park members. Those are the folks that we're going to prioritize, because $5, we're talking about a cup of coffee at some places, can be your investment in becoming a member of the Franklin Park Coalition. So no donation is too small, and even if it's an in-kind and time donation, we really appreciate that as well.
Well, finally, we should have a little more detail on the time of the festival this weekend, and where people can get some more information.
11 a.m. to 4 p.m. And you can check out our social media. We're on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Franklin Park Boss. And then we also have a website, franklinparkcoalition.org.
Thank you very much for being with us.
Really appreciate you, Chris. Thank
Corey
you.
Ellen from the Franklin Park Coalition. Up ahead, we'll talk about the new report on fatalities in the workplace.